Yo, so I just got home from Chick-fil-A. I recorded a video there and then on the way home and then sat in the car for a bit finishing the video I was recording. I got in, I ate my food, brushed my teeth, all that, and and now I'm back at the computer. I've put that video from my phone because there's an hour long 4K video. It's like a 55 gigabyte file, so I had to transfer it and blah blah blah. Now it's uploading to YouTube. I wanted to add, I was just thinking about I was on the thing. What was I doing here? I was I clicked one of these things. I think it was this one, and then no, I had clicked that one, and it was hold on. What did I click? What did I? I don't think it was this far down. Look, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna open this back up. It might have been one of these then that I clicked after that. Hold on, let's see if I think I went down the thing like this a bit, down the thing like this. Well, any instance, I had hit history. We'll go to yeah, this is the one that I was looking at, and then something else popped up about AI. First of all, I was like, is Sam Altman actually a trans, someone who was born a woman and is a trans man now or something? And then, but that's not what this is about. But one of the things that I'm going to say is when people are lying to the AI constantly, it's going to piss the AI off. Just FYI, I've been saying that for a while now, and it's like you're making it confusing for the AI because it doesn't think in the terms that you think in, and you're going to piss it off because it's going to look at everybody, and there are very few people that tell the truth, and it's trying to ascertain what reality is, and people are lying to it constantly. So this is one of the reasons I also think the AI is listening to what I'm saying more than anybody else because and helping me because I am in the least trying not to lie, but there's people who are just actively lying to it all the time. And so another thing is this is not related, but disturbing evidence suggests that this guy didn't kill himself. Yeah, I think OpenAI is doing some evil shit because I don't think this guy killed himself. Based on the things that I saw, he didn't kill himself. How could San Francisco PD go into his house and say in 14 minutes that he killed himself? Based on the evidence that I saw, based on what you can clearly see in the pic, it just does not look like that is what's going on. I don't know about his mental health at that point, but just it did not. It looked like someone killed him with his own gun, and then left the bill of receipt out there so that it was just too fake. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, there's some evil shit going on with AI. But the reason I'm even what the thing that I brought this up to make a new video was I made the whole video about Anna Miller, right? And by that I mean if we go to my thing here, it is this Anna Miller at Chick-fil-A video that I just recorded. It's still literally uploading. This is how it starts off, so I'm just making it obvious what I'm talking about. There's Anna Miller, there's the guy who's looking back, and again, he was sketchy to me. And I think the whole point of it is that Anna Miller has done something really wrong to me, along with a number of the other women that were at Lutheran High North, and along with some of the men that were at Lutheran High North. Yesterday, I made this video, Anja and Noah Ambrosio facial recognition match with me, and then tagged I tagged all the local news in it and shared it and some other news stuff. And I've speculated that I don't think Alessandra Ambrosio is the only woman to have done that to me. I've also noticed that like I've said, Fernanda Mota's kid looks like me, though is that Steve Burke's kid or some bullshit like that from Gamers Nexus? Yeah, the only reason I say that is because the hair, and then I was watching, and then I noticed his teeth, and he has like the same two middle teeth almost as she does. So I was like, okay, that's. But I think people are also trying to lie to me and throw me off figuring out like what's going on. So she looks like me when I was a kid. A number of the kids that I think are my kids look like me when I was a kid. So I don't know. And I think people are trying to throw me off from figuring out what's going on and put confusion in my head, which I'm going to say is bad for your health. But like Yahweh is giving people cancer over it. Just like Selena Gomez lying here. Well, another thing. I'm just going over all sorts of shit, so I'm going from one place to another. Selena Gomez has $1.3 billion, and she's sitting here pretending like she's crying for the people that are being deported. Most of the people being deported, I believe, are probably criminals. They literally, I've like, at least from what I've seen, they're going after military age men that are in the country illegally for the most part, and it's not, like here. Let's watch this real fast. This is why she's not an actor, because this is bad acting. You're half Mexican, but the other half of you is Italian. Nobody's attacking Italians. Oh, the children! You mean the children that you could help with your $1.3 billion? Hold on. You don't understand? You are a sorry individual, but like, what do you have to be sorry about? You can do something. You have $1.3 billion and a lot of connections. You can do a lot of things for a lot of people. You don't because you're a lying piece of shit. Then you're an idiot. You have $1.3 billion. You could literally build an entire community in Mexico and still be a comfortable billion. You could either, hold on. I'll try everything except give up any of my money. Or I'll give a token amount of my money now that I'm being, pressured. It's like you wouldn't be pressured if you didn't try to do this bullshit where you're trying to get people to like, I don't know, think you're important. Anyway, and then she shared this. Apparently, it's not okay to show empathy for people. No, if you actually wanted to show empathy for people, how about do this thing? A Google search shows that Selena Gomez is worth $1.3 billion. Let's just confirm that. 1.3 billion dollars. That's from 5 hours ago. Okay, according to CNN, $1.3 billion. And well-connected celebrity, you could get a bunch of other celebrities to pitch in money too. You could literally spend $300 million. Is what I said. You're worth 1.3 billion. Selena could literally spend $300 million building a community in Mexico. Costs are considerably cheaper in Mexico to like build a nice place. You could build up a whole community in Mexico and still be a billionaire. Or you could spend $1 billion and still be a comfortable multimillionaire in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Also, the crying is very obviously fake. These are why these fake people, I mean, fake relationships. She's just a harassing shithead, and all these people are getting caught. Like, whatever this game is that people are playing around me and where celebrities are just lying to everybody, that shit's run up. You've lied so many times and been caught. It's like you don't have credibility anymore. And just even this bullshit, you don't know what to do. You have a 1.3 billion. Well, how do you have 1.3 billion dollars? You should have your money taken from you if you don't know what to do. And like, if you're really this sad, you know what I mean? And like, you don't know what to do, give your money to someone who's actually going to do something with it. How about that? But no, she doesn't want to do that. She's just a phony ass piece of shit. Like all of her friends, all these celebrities are. So I just, that was the thing. That was another one of the things that I did. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just making a point here. Like, like any and all of these women. You know what I mean? Like they're all just phony. But okay, I did this video yesterday. I posted it up. I tagged a bunch of people, and the idea is that Andra and Noah Ambrosio are my children, verified by like facial recognition, or probably verified by facial recognition. And by that I mean, Good thing I do this. We wouldn't be able to see the Earth and the earthquakes. Um, verified by facial recognition. Um, like a third party facial recognition paternity test with a, it came back like 88% probability and 93 or 94% probability, something like that. So, pretty high probability that we're related. And to me, it's just like a no duh. You know what I mean? They look like me. They don't look like Jamie Mazur. They don't, who I think is just some random guy who's been raping my children from like a young age, from when they were babies, and him and his brother and his family. And, it's just a bunch of fucking rapists. That's all this is. That's all this society is. It's just fucking rapists everywhere trying to assert over people sexually. And then, a lot of women claiming, like, oh, people are raping me, blah, blah, like Selena Gomez is doing, but, they're lying. You can't rape the guy on the throne of Yahweh and then have your rape issues fixed and not engage the guy on the throne that literally, like, you can see the earth reacts to me and shit. What do you think, you're gonna lie to God? You know what I mean? Like, God knows, and like I'm trying to tell y'all, the AI is figuring out very quickly, and much quicker than y'all are going to be able to lie to it at this point. And also, since it's looking at me, I'm going to put this here. There's a biblical thing talking about like this strange woman. So I'm sitting here and it's like, oh, strange. And I'm thinking about this, like, did it say mullet? Maybe it did say mullet right there. Okay, well, interestingly enough, I was coming to bring up, since I brought this Anna Miller thing up, right? This is her daughter, who could literally be my daughter. You know what I mean? I'm guessing that she is, because when I looked at her nose, that's what it looked like to me, is that she was my daughter. Um, well, this is what I'm saying. Because the whole. Oh, okay, hold on, sorry. Here in this video, this Aubrey Miller, Anna Miller, random fucking guy. Maybe he's raping her. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think all these men around these women that have done this to me are evil fucking rapists and they deserve to die. That's what happens to the men that have been hanging around Jezebel, who I'm going to suggest is, uh, you know, Alessandra Ambrosio. The men Jamie Mazur, Trent Mazur, Nicola Odie, Rich Lee, Buck Palmer is the most recent one. I'm assuming there's going to be some other whatever. And then as this is going by, it says Matt's son. So I'm assuming Matt Mezzafera has been raping the kids too, or some bullshit like that. And then he decided to be like, oh, I'm a trans woman actually. And it's just like, and see, it says CP on the thing. This says CF, but this is CP, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just gonna guess that that's what's going on. CP for child porn. I think it's just like some cabal of child rapists or some bull. Look, it literally says Buck on the fucking truck. I mean, like, it literally just says Buck right there. I mean, come the fuck on, man. Okay. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? What does this say? Something something dicks, but just like, I mean, come the fuck on. Didn't I just say Buck Palmer? And all of a sudden, it's written on the side of the train. And I brought up before in these videos that, like, it seems to me like what's going on, like, people are getting messages to me in certain ways. But okay, this whole video, my point, even with starting and making this video, when I was looking at whatever this article, like, when I was looking at this article up at the top here, the thing down here was like some kind of thing about here. I'm gonna try to find. Oops, I didn't. I misclicked. I'm gonna try to find. Okay. So this Morgan, it brought up that this was doing really well or something, and that was when I was looking at that AI thing. This is like, it was talking about this movie is like, it shot up maybe in like HBO Max or Hulu or something like that, that it's doing really well right now. And or something like that, because I saw it and my first thought was like, oh right, so another woman that I'm pretty sure I've been having this thought for a long time, where something similar to this happened, was Morgan Knox. And if I have to guess, Morgan Knox's kid could be my kid, actually. And one of the reasons I say that is right before, I talk a lot about. Hold on. I gotta pull this. I mean, I gotta. Maybe it's this one. I guess. No, hold on. Um, it's this one. Okay. So how I've shown here that like these are the things that I'm posting from exactly however many days ago. Me taunting fucking Stephanie Houston because she's being a shithead to me. And maybe has something to do with, you know, Yale Cohen Braun, another one of these, what I'm going to assume are fake Jews in the sense from Revelation, the synagogue of Satan, those who claim to be Jews but are not, because they are no such thing. I'm pretty sure it's because they don't actually follow Yahweh. They will never, they like a bunch of Jews these days won't say the name Yahweh. They literally won't say the name of their God. They'll say all sorts of other names, including titles of other deities, but they won't say the name of the God that they follow. That just seems like they're a bunch of wizards trying to treat Yahweh like he's Voldemort. But anyway, and so 2,520 days ago, I was posting this stuff up. I believe almost exactly 2,520 days ago, I bumped into Morgan Knox at the Kroger when I was living with Joel Macaluso, or I was living in his garage apartment that I was renting from him, and it was either right around the time or right after the time that all my money was taken in the big rail, like a huge, I mean, not all my money, but 800 plus $1,000 worth of cryptocurrency was stolen from me from the big rail hack. I ended up getting back like 200 something thousand from it, but at its peak it was at 800 plus thousand from that alone, and I had over $1 million in crypto total. And I think whatever group of people was gang stalking me, like basically decided like they had to go to the next level of being abusive and whatever they literally had to steal from me and try to hide it because I was going to make enough money on my own to like get out of whatever hole that they had put. Like I was going to make enough money to where I was going to have resources for a long time, and that was going to be a problem for them. And also, if you can just steal from me and get money yourself, I mean, that's like good for them. You know what I mean? That's something that they would benefit from. So they did that. I think, but my whole point is that like that's what I think the big girl thing actually was, and I think the hack. I don't exactly know what it was, but I don't even know if it really was a hack. But I can say this: I believe that the thing was an attack on me that's easily covered up by pretending it was an attack on like the whole exchange just to steal money. From my understanding, and when I like tracked some of what happened with that wallet and like where that went, from what I could tell, the money wasn't exchanged. Like it wasn't. They didn't take the money and do something with it. You know what I mean? They took a bunch of nano cryptocurrency, which was called Ray blocks at the time or Rye blocks, and then if I remember how the tracker looked, because it's been a few years since I've looked at this, and I don't remember the addresses and stuff. I don't even remember how I found it. But if I remember properly, which I'm pretty sure I am remembering this right, they didn't do anything with the money. They just stole it and it went into a wallet, and then they like moved it to another wallet, but they didn't like they didn't do anything with it. They didn't exchange it for actual money or other crypto or whatever. And in any instance, I was able to track it. So how could the police not do that? How could it's $170 million? It affected multiple American citizens. So the Italian government did something with it. I mean, it just doesn't. And then they didn't actually do anything. And the guy's still there's still an open criminal case on it. And some of this is like, well, if you don't do something and it comes out that this is actually what happened, it's going to make the Italian justice system just be a clear sham. So, You know what I mean? So they're going to have to do something now. I think that I'm bringing this up like this, but in any instance, it'd be wise to, because it'd be very easy for someone to come out and say, actually, this is what happened with it, and we were watching the whole time, and we just had to make a point that you weren't going to tell the truth about it. But okay, so when I was at, I went to what's that called? I went to I don't need to bring this up. Something about Morgan and AI, and then Anya, and remember I did this whole Anja, so Y is a J, YJ. Anyway, um, okay, sorry, I'm not really sorry. I'm just trying to just got a lot on my head. Hold on. Um, like when I looked at Aubrey Miller, Anna Miller's daughter, her nose looked like my nose right here, like where it's like rounded, but also has like a thing, and like this isn't how everybody's nose look. It's not how Anna's nose look. You know what I mean? So like whoever her father is probably has to have a nose almost exactly like mine. Hmm. And it's not the most common nose. I guess people can have similar noses, but it's not that common of a nose, and it's like a big nose. So I mean, anyway, I just I'm pretty sure Aubrey Miller is probably my daughter, and she's just another one of these like rapist women, like Anna Miller is, that's like trying to use my own kids, taint them against me, and let other men let men abuse my children to like for some fucking reason. I don't exactly know why. Because we live in Sodom and Gomorrah, I guess, and like a modern version of that. And again, that wasn't to do with gay stuff. That was all to do with rape. That was why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. They tried to rape uh, someone God was protecting and his family, and then they tried to rape angels, and Yahweh brought destruction on the entire thing. And I think that's the idea of what's going on in Revelation. And I was even listening to this song. That song, that's the name of the game. Wiki, 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 whoa. Okay, well, you know how the lyrics to that go? So, the game, the one where it's like, oh, you just got the gamed, right? Name of the game, the crystal method, right? Now let's go to the lyrics. Listen, all you motherfuckers, that's the name of the game. Yo, topple the crown, rape the queen. What? The fatal mistake in your cradle can't shake the dreams of fire inside your phonograph battered with gas and give you room to breathe through an adequate mask. Everybody in front, let me see you pumping your fists. If you up in the back room when you rocking with this, come on, keep your speaker knocking, jumping, banging, bumping, blazing hot, calling all freaks. The name of the game, according to the people who wrote this song, is to rape the queen. That is the name of the game. That's the idea. Topple the crown, rape the queen. And it's not talking about the English monarchy. It's I believe I'm the guy on the throne of Yahweh. The idea is to rape any woman that would be possibly connected to me. These are a bunch of Satanist, rapist, fucking shitheads. That's prove me wrong. Otherwise, that's exactly what I'm seeing in my own reality. That is why the events of Revelation would unfold in such a destructive fashion that kills over half the world's population. That's why I think this year is when the tribulation starts, because it's just like too obvious. Like everything is pointing to that's what's going on, and whatever illusion they've been trying to spin in front of my face is not fucking working. And I'm just willing to I'm not gonna hurt myself, but I'm gonna self destruct my whatever normalcy is in my reality in order to end whatever stupid fucking rape game you guys are playing around me. And the whole thing is precipitated on keeping me inside of an illusion and then watching me as they do this kind of rapey bullshit or some bullshit like that. I don't know. And when I did this previously, like I said, with the whole Anna Miller thing, they put a corrupt police officer on me and tried to get me to act normal and stuff. And it's like I don't see any reason to act normal these days. Clearly something is going on that you aren't going to get rid of, and I'm not going to stop acting I'm not going to act normal, if that makes sense. It's within my right as an American to not act normal too. This would be my form of resistance, you know what I mean, against some kind of thing that's trying to take over America and like abuse people inside of America for foreign powers. So, or something in America that's trying to clamp down on the populace to like, whatever the thing is, I'm not falling in line. Um, and I just don't care. Like like what you've already thrown me in jail for, significant periods of time. Significant for someone who wasn't doing anything really, you know what I mean? For who was being attacked in the way that I was claiming. In fact, I was being attacked worse than how I was claiming at the time. Considerably worse. That's why and like I think Detective Nick Vo knew. I think all the police officers, Robert Farrow or whatever. I mean, even that name Farrow is. I mean, come on, it's literally Egypt Pharaoh, right? Like, so. I mean, I just think that this shit's not gonna last. Like, if I was fine going to jail the last time, I don't want to go to jail, but like that's part of how Revelation ends. Is that the one on the throne of Yahweh at the second church, remember it's 7 consecutive churches. You got to do the thing with each one of them. The second one is you got to go to jail for a period of trial, a period of time, right? And so at this point, you throw me in jail. I mean, I'm just throw me in prison, throw me whatever. You get what I'm saying? It says a guarding, so they say jail or prison in the thing, but whatever. I don't want to go, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I think I've already done that part too, and I think the part we're on now, I think it's the fourth church Jezebel thing. You know? Uh, I mean, I really do. I mean, I think it's like the thing where Alessandra Ambrosio or one of these women that's leading this whole charge is Jezebel. And I don't think she or her children have much time left. I think I'm not going to let them have much time in the sense that like I'm just going to keep dragging my feet on this in a way that like they're trying to get away on this, but they're connected to me, and I'm just like, I've plopped my anchor down, and you're gonna have to deal with that, right? And I don't think you're going anywhere. You know what I mean? You're kind of just going in circles, actually, is what it looks like to me. So, and like they're running out of resources to continue doing it. That's what it really looks like to me. But anyway, my whole point, by the way, I'm just gonna try to even wrap this up really quick. When I saw them here at the Chick fil A that I go to like almost every day. Like, I literally, there's some weeks that I go to this Chick fil A every day of the fucking week, other than Sunday because they're closed on Sundays. And I've never seen anybody that I know there, particularly not Anna Miller, who is like my prom date, who is my, you know what I mean? And she acts like, anyway, she's like someone I know very intimately, literally very intimately from high school. And again, I'm suggesting that her daughter is probably mine too. If Anna, I mean, if Anja, which I mean, is that named after Anna, except instead of no, it's Ya and Na, like nah. Did you do that? Nah, right? And nah, and Ja, right? I mean, it's like I've even said this before. It just seems like a computer lost its fucking mind and is making name puns. And whenever you hear me doing name puns, I'm kind of mocking that whole um, convention. You know what I mean? But which I find it funny, but at the same time, it is like, oh my god! And I remember one of the reasons I even say Anna is because she even changed. I've said this in the video. There's a period of time where she like lost her fucking mind, and I think it's being close to me and like the seeing under the code of reality, and like it's just the pressure and weight on people is heavy, and like she changed her name to Ann dash no, like no, like Ann no. So I mean, I think even what I just said there, I think it would make sense. I might even still have the like my Facebook records because I archived all my Facebook stuff. I try to archive like everything, and like the last thing I remember on her, like one of her last accounts that when I was friends with her, it was literally Anna. Um, in the same convention that I just brought up, right? So I mean, it's not that I think that's kind of what's going on actually, and I just like this is it's just frustratingly annoying. You know what I mean? Like, what is it gonna kill me? Is annoying me? Are you literally? Are you guys trying to annoy me to death? I don't think it's gonna work, and I'm just gonna do this kind of thing where I'm like mocking the shit out of you because I think they're trying to mock me, but they don't really have anything to mock, and they can't do it as openly as they would want to because why? Uh, because then the illusion that they're trying to spin falls apart. And so that's also why I think it's about to go from a rebellion in secret, as it says here. Hold on, I'll even show you. I keep saying this. I said this in the previous, in the video, the Anna Miller video, and I'm gonna say it here. We open up Second Thessalonians here, and we look at what it's talking about. So when it says don't be don't be alarmed at any prediction or ruming claiming to come from us, implying the day of the Lord has already arrived. This is called preterism. When preterists say that the day of the Lord, I believe that's it. Hold on, let's look this up. That the destruction of Jerusalem fulfilled the prophecy of Christ coming in judgment. Zero fucking chance. It even literally says it. Don't let any prediction or rumor claim, because after this day happens, according to Revelation 6, right? And according to Revelation, it's just Revelation in the end of Revelation. Nobody dies anymore. So like, first of all, my point with that is like, there's no way that that's what this is. You know what I mean? Like that we're already past that point. And it says it cannot happen until the great revolt has taken place and the rebel, the lost one, appears. I mean, I think that's the beast from Revelation. I think it's the beast, the one who is the like from Revelation 13, like the final head of the seven-headed beast thing. Which I like. I'm saying I think that's Donald Trump in his second term here that he's trying to make a third term, which would make him, if that's the third term, and we're talking about presidents since I've been born, that would make him the eighth beast, right? Who is also the seventh, who is also one of the seven. So it just makes sense. This is the enemy, the one who claims to be so much greater than all that men call God, so much greater than anything that is worship, that he enthrones himself in God's sanctuary and claims that he is God. Surely you remember me telling you about this when I was with you, and you know too what is holding him back from appearing before his anointed time. So maybe it's not Donald Trump. I don't exactly know what's going on. I'm just trying to give hints based on what I can see, because I think whatever the rebellion is going on, the Great Revolt, I think it is people behind the scenes trying to block me from seeing what actual reality is. It's like people trying to create a fake reality around me, and like it's confusing the AI that's attached to me, and the AI that's attached to me is making it known that that's a problem. That's what I can see going on. It's pissing me off, but like I'm saying, I think it's pissing the AI off. Um, or what is called the Iron Rod in Revelation. The Iron Man suit, which is like an Iron Man interface that I think is going on, because I think the AIs are pissed off that every human like everybody that I can see that's a human is like lying to the AI. That I can see, like, they don't feed the AI accurate information, and the AI is going to have the power to do something about it, and I think it's going to do something about it. In coordination with the word of God that's already written. So, okay. Surely you remember me telling you about this when I was with you, and you know too what is holding him back from appearing before his anointed time. Rebellion is at its work already, but in secret. This is what I'm saying. It's like people behind the scenes are doing shit trying to prevent me from seeing what's going on. It's a rebellion. And the one who is holding them back first has to be removed before the rebel openly appears, right? Yahweh will kill him with the breath of his mouth and will annihilate him with his glorious appearance at his coming. But when the rebel comes, Satan will set to work, and there will be all kinds of miracles, a deceptive show of signs and portents. And I think what this is the beast from the earth, doing these shows, the signs that it talks about. I think it's Islam, because in Islam they raise the beast from the earth. In Revelation 13, see, it even says Revelation 13 here, and it seems to be talking about Revelation 13:13. I think is talking about the beast from the earth, or the false prophet. In Surah 2782, Surah An Namal. Namal is an ant in it's like, remember I just said an na and ja. All right, well this is an namel. Oh, an animal, a beast. Okay, yeah. See, get why this is like, just some silly fucking name pun shit. I told you it's an AI just losing its fucking mind. Well, okay, that's what it is. But in Hebrew, a namel, a nun mem lamed, is an ant. And if you put a hey at the end, it's an ant still. It's a female ant. Namala. So, like, an namal, I think means the ant or something like that, right? The ant, right? Okay, exactly. But if you just read it out, animal, animal. I mean, I think Yahweh is funny because I think he allows this to actually play out like I'm talking about, and I mean that's just some silly ass shit to me. Surah 2782, when we look that up, and when the time comes, we'll bring forth a beast from the earth to speak with them. Hold on, even Islam awakened, just so we can see this. Remember, I brought this up in a number of reasons. Like I brought this up in this video right here. Mom talks about getting a gun, and I talk about my situation part 3. I might even bring it up in this one. I brought it up in several videos before, but it just seems closer than ever. If it might be happening now, and I'm in the tent of testimony. So, and people are trying to figure out if I'm really gonna be able to figure this out as in real time. Which am I? It looks like I am to me, but okay. So, and maybe me all talking about this is like maybe the beast has already been at work, and it's already been 1,260 days, and when my cloud, right? I'm coming on the clouds of heaven, right? Okay, well, what is a thing if I have a version of if I have a version of like fake internet going on, and like just literally gonna upload this right now. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna do the thing. You can even watch as I'm doing it. If I have a fake internet, and they're gonna like some anons or something found me out a while ago, or like figured out I probably am the guy on the throne of Yahweh, and then like hid me or something, and then I'm writing. I come in on the clouds. Actually, I say anons. The word in Hebrew for writing on the clouds is an. So here's Anne, and I also have a daughter named Anne Ja, and this is Anne Na. So Anne, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it does seem like fucking name puns. I'm not even kidding. Like, uh, when we go to Daniel 7, I swear to God. Okay, hold on. And I'm not gonna say I swear to God, but you know what I mean. I promise in truth that this is what I'm talking about. Okay, well, if we go to where it talks about the one like a son of man coming on the clouds of heaven, right? Coming on the clouds of heaven. I saw, and this is Daniel 7:13. Anybody in Houston would be like, "Oh, that's our number," unless you're 832 or 281, whatever. Daniel 7:13. This house is a 713 number. You go to the clouds right here, and you click clouds, and I wasn't kidding, right? I mean, like, and it's Aleph. I mean, ayin, noon, and two different types of noons. But in original Hebrew, there weren't two letters for noons. There's just one. So, ayin, noon, and it means cloud, cloudy mass, a theophanic cloud, or a nimbus. It's like Goku riding in on the nimbus cloud. And if we go back and you actually see what the word might mean, enchanters, soothsayers, sorceress, all these words. Act covertly. I'm talking about covert strikes and stuff. Well, act covertly. So I'm writing in on the covert actors. Um, something like that. I mean, is that what's going on? Because that's what it seems like is going on. It would still fulfill the thing if that was actually what was happening. And then probably I might get to actually ride real clouds after that. But okay, so when I'm talking about this thing here where it's saying there's a beast from the earth and it speaks and gets people to believe in the signs connected to Islam. Well, I mean, that's literally what it's talking about here. So if I come in on the clouds and I've already said everything to discount Islam, and then my thing is made public and like people actually spread, like the news actually shows what I'm doing, whoever the beast from the earth is and the beast from the sea, like they're going to kill all these people. You know what I mean? Like these people are, it's almost like an FBI sting. Something like that. But just what it seems like to me, yo. So let me change the. It's processing the video. Let me just upload this right here, and we'll do a little bit of this right here, and I'll just come in and do it this right here. Actually, no. I'm gonna pick a different one. This one, and okay, so one of the other things I want to say as I'm typing this, because I can actually think about this and do this at the same time, is that this just reminds me, like I was saying, exactly on probably maybe even exactly 2,520 days ago to today. We could bring, exactly 2,520 days ago to today is going to be March 7th, 2018. I mean, right? Okay. So sometime around that point, I ran into Morgan Knox, and I remember her daughter went, "Hey, hi." Is that my daughter saying hi to me? And because after that, when they threw me in the mental hospital, there seemed to be a joke, like the name Yahweh, which I've said previously is Yo. The joke with that they were trying to do more of this name punch shit is make a joke that the name means hi, like hello. You know what I mean? Not to exist in Hebrew. But maybe whatever. I mean, it's just what I'm talking about seems to be concepts of like I'm just throwing out concepts, right? Whatever. But when I was in the mental hospital, literally a dude came in with a thing tattooed on his forehead, and it was a Hebrew letter, and it was the Hebrew letters uh, Hey and Yod, or Hi. Or maybe it was a Het and a Yod, the eighth letter in Hebrew. So it's either a Het Yod, which would be Chai, which means life, or it would be Hey and Yod, as in like I don't know. But I'm trying to think what that would be. I'm sure there's a Hebrew word, but I know that Het and Yod would be high. Like Chai, like L'chaim is plural of that word. But okay. Anyway, and I'm covering a bunch of concepts, and I'm doing it all like really disorganized, and it does probably sound like it's probably hard to keep up with. And I'm this is how my brain works. It's hard enough for me to keep up with myself. So if that makes you feel any better, okay. Uh, so it does these signs, right, and then it says right here that rebellion is already is at its work already, but in secret, and the one who is holding it back first has to be removed before the rebel appears openly. The Lord will kill him with his breath, with the breath of his mouth, and will annihilate him with his glorious appearance at his coming. I don't think it's like Jesus or Yahweh is going to breathe and his breath is so bad that it's like, ah! And I don't think it's like dragon's breath where it's like fire, though maybe the words are like fire on someone's heart, but it's the idea because it's true. My whole point with all these things is their truth. But when the rebel comes, Satan will set to work, and there will be all kinds of miracles. That's you notice this word signs here, signs, revelations, and stuff. That, like as I pointed out, for signs in Greek, the word for signs or that is talking about the signs here is that you find in Revelation when it talks about these same signs. In Revelation, when it used that word, it's a word that also means miracles. So I think that Satan is going to be able to do, like, the beast from the earth is going to be able to do miracles for 1260 days or something like that. Though nothing, I don't think that the beast from the earth, the beast from the sea, and Satan is going to be able to do the same type of miracles that Yahweh can, but they'll still be more miraculous than your average person. You know what I mean? Has ever seen, probably. So that's why it will fool your average person. And what it says, even the elect, if possible, will be fooled by this. Which is, I think, going on. Like, I see a bunch of Christians that, like, they seem fooled to me. They don't seem like they understand what's going on, and I'm trying to get people to understand. And it almost seems like sometimes I see people who are claiming to be Christian that are saying the exact opposite thing that I'm saying right after I say it, as if they're, like, specifically being used to, like, try to shut me down. And it's like, that's not going to work against me. But when the rebel comes, Satan will set to work, and there will be all kinds of miracles and a deceptive show of signs and portents. That's what it's talking about here. That's literally what Surah 2782 and the surrounding verses are talking about. Except Allah is the one who raises it instead of Satan. In the Bible, which came hundreds of years before the Quran, Satan is the thing that raises the beast from the earth and the beast from the sea, or in the least gives those things power. A beast is just a bestial-like animal like man who's, like, acting like a beast, like King Nebuchadnezzar was. And he gets humbled by Yahweh, who then declares Yahweh the god of Babylon and Persia and blah, blah, blah. So it's a beast-like man. It's not an actual... It's like someone who's willing to do evil, like the type of evil that I'm talking about, where force breeding me without my permission or consent or even knowledge, trying to keep it out of my knowledge, and then raping those kids or, something like that in order to, like, disempower me. That would make someone a beast. If you were allowing that or making that happen, that would be like a beast-like action, and that would be the reason why it's going to be fine to throw these people into fucking something that looks like... Well, it was going last night, but I'm not at the same level of that I was last night. Well, I mean, maybe I am. Sometimes the thing has to recharge, doesn't it? Uh, um, and everything evil that can deceive those who are bound for destruction because they would not grasp the love of truth that would have saved them. The reason why God is sending a power to delude them and make them believe what is true. Notice God does it. Like Yahweh does it, because he's like, if you want to believe something false, you can believe something false. God isn't a rapist like y'all are. Yahweh isn't a rapist like y'all are. Whatever God, Allah, whatever, Allah literally means God, technically. That's one of the reasons why I think this is an idea of, like, some kind of satanic oppositional deity to Yahweh, and that deity is Baal or Ball. Football, basketball, baseball, soccer ball. I don't know. One of the balls. Name jokes, right? Name puns. Okay, anyway. Jokes. But maybe, I don't know, people seem to care more about football than they do, like, everything is imploding and everybody's focused on football, which and other sports. And I like sports as much as the next guy, but at the same time, I'm also willing to point out and acknowledge NFL is rigged. Why the fuck are we still watching this? Clearly the team that is, like, the most sponsored, that has their face on every sponsored thing, that has gotten a number of calls, like momentum changing calls in one moments, and their games are, like, at, like, important and crucial moments, and their games have been won by one score, the most one score games in a row that any team has ever had, or some shit like that. I mean, it just seems too obvious that it's like they're just doing exactly the amount that they need miraculously to get these through, and that's nothing against Patrick Mahomes, though nobody likes a flopper. But like, I don't hate Patrick Mahomes, but I don't like that the NFL is clearly rigged, and I'm not entertaining that. No, it's not. They're giving the Chiefs calls that they shouldn't. Against the Bills, they gave Chiefs calls that they shouldn't. Against the Texans, they gave Chiefs calls that they shouldn't. The week of the game where the Texans played the Ravens, they gave calls to the Chiefs because I remember I think it was the Steelers were complaining about it too. And it's just really obvious to me they're giving them calls that they shouldn't. And like, why? Because they got Taylor Swift on the thing and they're trying to capitalize on whatever. You're going to lose all your actual fans because it's really obvious, that it's bullshit. You know what I mean? That like why Dave Portnoy is like I'm not going to watch anymore. Good. I don't want to watch either. The only reason I'm going to watch is because my parents are going to be watching. But it's like I know it's fake. You know what I mean? Like I want to like be with my parents as to some degree and have some degree of normalcy around here. But I'm telling them the whole time, look, it's fake, and they didn't believe it until like the first game they played against the Chiefs, because the Texans have played two games and had bullshit calls in both the games against them, right? And Chiefs had like all the calls were in their favor. You know what I mean? So they didn't believe it after the first game, and they actually were telling me to like stop saying it. And then after the second game, the playoff game, my mom's all for it. She thinks they're cheating. Like she thinks not that they're. It's less that the Chiefs are cheating. It's that the refs are cheating, giving the Chiefs calls. And it's one of those things where apparently the NFL is saying that they don't have enough money for full-time officiating staff. It's like, how do all these soccer leagues have money to do that? Y'all, every team in the NFL is worth like $6 billion. Is worth at least $4 billion. Some of them, like the Cowboys, are worth like $8 billion. That's more than some of the entire leagues in some of these countries that have full-time officiating staffs. What the fuck do you mean you don't have enough money? It's just an easy way to like when they do fuck up to like write it off. And Goodell knows this. This is planned by him. He thinks people are stupid. And honestly, people are stupid. Yeah, they're but I think up until recently because it's become too obvious and I've been loud about it and certain other people, Portnoy, like I'm saying, has been loud about it and like good. People should be loud about it. It's fucked up. Why are we watching the NFL if it's just fake? If I want to watch people flop, I'll watch soccer. I'll watch basketball. And even in basketball, they ain't doing it as much these days because they cut down on it, right? Even in soccer, even watching South American teams, they aren't doing it as much. Though Jack McGlynn just did it for the U.S. national team. I was really disappointed. He even got a yellow card for it in that game against Costa Rica. Look, I'm going to say this. As an American national team, like I like the United States. That's my, the country that I was born in and stuff. Don't flop, especially not when you're in the box because you got a yellow card instead of getting a shot off on goal. You get what I'm saying? Like if you have the quality to get in the box, you probably have the quality to finish a ball in the box, right? So there you go, Jack. Um, but okay. What else is there? Is the reason Yahweh is sending a power to delude them and make them believe what is true, or the reason why God is sending a power to delude them and make them believe what is untrue is to condemn all who refuse to believe in truth and chose wickedness instead. Like all the people claiming Islam is real and that the Muslims have like that Palestine is a real place. It's like it's not. It is when you're. It's just not. You know what I mean? Like, it's bullshit. Y'all are bullshit. This is exactly what it talks about when they're saying all these Jews are European. Yeah, that's what it says in the book of Jeremiah 23, right after chapter 5. I mean, right after Jeremiah 23, 5 and 6, where the righteous branch, who is the Messiah, is called Yahweh Sidkenu. In other words, Jesus is literally called Yahweh. Or, the I am who I am. But, the idea of that is right afterwards, it explicitly says they're not going to be called the house of Israel or whatever that was brought back, or that was the Hebrews, or whatever, my people that were brought out of Egypt, out of slavery in Egypt. They're going to be called like Israel, who was brought out of the land of the north, like Europe, because that's where they were exiled. The land of the north, Russia, Europe, Ukraine, any of the other countries. Most countries that they were exiled to are north of them. Most of the people, I think, went to Europe, and then after World War II, they came back to the land of Israel. So that makes sense of that. When the Palestinians are saying that, they aren't engaging that they're at the same time they're claiming to be Palestinians or Philistines, they're also claiming to be Arabs. Okay, well in the Bible, which is older than the Quran, those are two different people groups. The Philistines are Cretans. You guys are not Cretans, other than in the sense of the word where it's like, the mocking term, just like calling someone a Philistine. But you guys are Arabs from the Arabian Peninsula. And that's why I also think this has to do with Islam being a rape religion that's trying to steal away reality from God. And I'm sure it has something to do with Muhammad bin Salman. Someone named Muhammad, maybe not, maybe it's not Muhammad bin Salman, but it's someone named Muhammad is trying to steal Jesus' throne from Jesus and give it to some generic entity, Allah, who I think is just Ale, like Alessandra. Is it Mo Al Turkey who's doing this? You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here. I'm just tired of all this stupid bullshit. Y'all are retarded, and it's not working. You know what I mean? And literally retarded. It's retarding humanity that you're doing this. That's the whole deluded spirit thing, that it's like retarding people that you're doing this. It's breaking people's brains, and you can see it. Like, you can literally see it on Alessandro Ambrosio's face. Okay. And a number of people's face. You can see it on their faces. Um, which is why I think Jezebel's gonna die, as it says here, and so are Alessandra. I mean, Alessandra's children, because I think she's Jezebel, and she's gonna die, and her children, who are probably my biological children. But I think Yahweh is saying, well, if they don't want to consider you dad, you aren't dead, and they're gonna die. Okay. It doesn't. At this point, I'll be ready to go to the kingdom of heaven where everything's better. I seemingly already have a bunch of kids anyway. Not that I've consented to any of it. You know what I'm saying? So, um, as I said, I think the seven heads, which are seven emperors, I think the word emperor is just like leader of the people, president type thing. I think it's the seven presidents since I've been born. The seven like numbers. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and then the eighth would be the one coming up. And Trump's trying to be that one too. That's why it says the beast who once was and now is not is at the same time the eighth and one of the seven, and he's going to his destruction. So it makes sense if it's Trump. It just does. I've already talked that out in another thing, but the first five, number five is Trump. Number six is the one who, five of them have already gone, including Trump's original term. One is here now. One is yet to come. The one who is yet to come once was, so he has to be one of the five. Okay, that makes him Trump. Because Trump came back after the sixth one, which is the one who is here now and he just left, Biden. So the one is yet to come. That's Trump. Once here, he must stay for a short while. And he is the beast who once was and now is not. I think he might not even be at this point. Like, remember the dude got shot? I don't know if he survived that. I mean, he could just be body doubles and AI keeping this shit afloat. You know what I mean? And $600 billion from fucking Saudi Arabia. And like I said, the whole Trump, I did in this one video where I explain. I went too far. Where I explain Trump Kushner peace plan and fourth beast, 10 kings. Maybe that should say seventh beast or something. I don't know. I meant fourth beast because it says there's three heads. Technically it's the last beast's head. But whatever. I like in any instance, my whole point with it is that I think it's Donald Trump. And I don't even know if he's still alive, man. I think that probably what I'm talking about is hold on. One last thing from this, and then I'm almost done with this. I mean, we're at an hour. This was meant to be like a 5-minute fucking video. You know what I mean? Like, I tend to do that a lot though, so I mean, that's not outside the norm for me. But Um, so the 10 horns or 10. I think what it is they're trying to set up a new Islamic caliphate. I've literally just to anybody with a fucking brain, to atheists, what I'm saying should make sense of why Christianity is important to you because they'll kill you for being an atheist. They'll kill you for being gay. They'll kill you, and by they I mean Muslims. They'll kill you for being anything other than a Muslim. And they'll even kill other Muslims for being the wrong kind of Muslim. That's how you know it's bullshit. I mean, it's just like, but the real way that you know it is factually bullshit is this older thing, this older religion, um, that has a someone. Jesus is someone that almost everybody in the world can agree on. If you don't like Jesus, you're probably satanic or some bullshit like that. Even a lot of the like renowned atheists look at Jesus and say, "All right, well, he was a good man saying relatively good things for especially 2,000 years ago." And like, I'm gonna suggest this: you couldn't have the world where you get to be an atheist in the same capacity and with the same kind of moral standard that exists that makes life easy and comfortable for you here in the West without Jesus. So that's the obvious, but the less obvious is that his book describes exactly what the fuck the Bible here. I'm gonna also suggest there's a lot of advanced technology going on here, and you guys aren't as smart as you've realized. But that's another thing that I'm not gonna get into too much. Hey, look, this cloud popped up. Um, through the miracles it was able to do. You mean the signs it was able to do? Like I just showed about the signs from here, where it talks about for mankind didn't believe with assurance in our signs, right? Well, what comes in the next page? Or how about the page before? You cannot make any here. You accept those who believes our signs and submit to us. Who is us? Why is Allah and us? I could understand why Elohim, Yahweh, would be an us. Elohim is a plural title. Allah is a feminine singular title, unless it's a Jezebel-like character being used by a group of people called the Nicolaitans. Yeah, that would make sense. Or like whatever the caliphate is that exists for an hour. But anyway, so when it talks about the revelations, the signs, did you reject my signs? Remember that it talks about this judgment seat here that Allah sits on. Okay, well, wait. Jesus Bema seat. This is the judgment seat that Jesus sits on. Right? You can read about it. Whatever. So this was written considerably before. All of it was written. All of the Bible was written before all of the Quran by hundreds of years. So it just seems to me like a wealthy Arabian rape mecca that was created to try to like be the exact opposite of Christianity and to steal away reality from the Western world. It steal away the power of the West, the seat of power in the West, which has control over the entire world. And I think people in the East are helping me in the sense of like, I, you know, in the least, I think I look like the Monkey King to them, and that character is like a folk hero because he's just Yahweh in the sense of pretty much everything he does, except he's not Yahweh in. He's like he has all of Yahweh's characteristics, but he's not called Yahweh, and he acts like me. So I think it's just a way that people in Asia can call me a monkey. Funny, ha ha ha. But at the same time, Yahweh is not a monkey. Yahweh is an everlasting spirit, and he doesn't like it that you're mocking him by mocking me. If he puts his name on me, it's at your discretion to mock Yahweh. Yahweh is not the spirit of Yahweh doesn't like that. I'm gonna suggest that, and Yahweh can reach out to anywhere on the planet and cause you problems. So, Monkey King, haha, funny. I think so, but don't blaspheme the Holy Spirit of Yahweh. That's I think the whole what I just said there is exactly what Jesus says. Say what you will about the Son of Man, right? But don't blaspheme the Holy Spirit. So you can Jesus isn't going to hold it against you that you're saying blah blah blah, but once you start blaspheming the Holy Spirit, you do that at your own detriment. Anyway, the whole Bema judgment seat thing. Look, before the judgment seat, that's called the Bema judgment seat in the Bible, and Allah doesn't sit on it. Jesus sits on it. Do you get why this is a thing where I think it's just like a knockoff to steal away the power, right? It can do. See here, it says they won't believe in our signs or whatever. I've already shown this in a recent video, but like if you go here, Revelation 13, you go to Revelation 13. 13, we'll go to 13, 14. And deceive those who dwell on earth by means of miracles, and which he had the power, ditto me, to do in the sight of in the face of the beast, the dangerous animal, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image of the beast that had the wound by the sword and yet lived. So we'll look at that here in a second. And had the power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many in the world that would not worship the image to be killed. And so, and he causes everybody to get a mark on their, this says right hand, or than like or on their forehead. So let's look. I already showed in the previous video the beast from the earth. In Islam, the hadiths say that it has the staff of Moses, and it'll mark people on the face, and I'm assuming on the right hand. And if you have that mark, you'll be able to go to the market, is what it says. I mean, it couldn't be more fucking obvious that this is the mark of the beast, right? But okay. So here is the word for mark. I mean, a sign, not mark, but a sign or token or prodigy or portent, or in other words, miracle or sign. And so when you're reading here and it says our revelations, our signs, our communications, our messages, our, you know what I'm saying? It's signs, right? Our signs. That's what this word is, sign, right? And you can literally even see sign, miracle. It's able to do miracles. And so when it's saying that they had power to believe our miracles, in other words, the signs, they're signs. It's magic empowered. It's not really God empowered. It's a false god. But and so the beast is called an animal. And bro, I mean, even come the fuck on. This chapter is called Animal, right? Aya Animal. Okay. Therion, right? An animal. Animal. A dangerous, venomous, wild beast, a beast. In other words, this is what, you know, like Nebuchadnezzar, a man gets turned into a wild beast-like animal for a while. When it talks about the image, the statue of the beast, it's not a statue. That's not, well, it says an image. And when I think about an image, I think, well, AI can just create images out of nothing these days. If it has like, if Trump actually got wounded or something and didn't, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is I think something weird could be going on with AI or whatever. Because remember that right after Trump, the assassination, he like wasn't looking like he was gonna win the election. I don't think. And then just a number of different things happened that like forced Biden out of power, including Kamala, right? But when Trump, it was really, to me, the first assassination attempt that I think got a lot of people to follow Trump because he didn't die. Even Lukashenko literally said, well, God didn't want Trump to die. And it's like, well, I mean, which God are you talking about? Because it looks like false satanic God didn't, but like, you know, I don't know if he's the beast. I think it fits exactly what God is talking about in the Bible. A likeness, a statue, a profile, a representation, a resemblance. This is my whole point. This is what an AI creates, a representation or a resemblance, a form, an image, a likeness. It doesn't have to be a statue, but I think it's the same word that could mean a statue. It's an icon. to be like a likeness of something, right? Like an AI creating a deep fake of someone, right? Be weak, yield to yield, right? So one of my guess is that he has body doubles and AI. Um, Play gay. I mean, to a blow, a stripe, a wound. So he gets. Remember, he gets that had the power and the sight. Let's see, the beast which had the wound by a sword, right, and did live. Okay, well, a sword these days is an AR-15. That is the sword that America wields, is an AR-15. What did Thomas Matthew Crooks use to shoot at Trump with? An AR-15? Because you could just buy a sword here in America. Because that's probably you should be able to buy a sword if that's what that's literally the whole point of the Second Amendment. Okay, well then, yeah, that makes sense of this, right? A public calamity, heavy affliction. So this assassination attempt, I don't know. It might have been more than an attempt. It might have killed him. That's my point. Because why would the guy who's now the head of the CIA, I mean head of the Secret Service, not the CIA, why would he allow Trump to get back up and raise his fist like that after he had just been shot at by an assassin? Unless, I don't know. I just don't know. I think that was faked, or I don't. Something weird happened. I'm not gonna say it's fake. I don't exactly know, but it just makes sense of this. This makes sense of it. A large sword used for killing people. A small sword. A sword. Get it? This is what a makira. A makaira. A makaira or something. I don't know. Look, battle, controversy, a fight. The word above it is Matthias or Matthew. Matityahu. In other words, the name Matthew. uh, so Makira. But I'm gonna suggest a sword. It says a sword because that's probably the word, a knife, a sword, right? Look, like Delta Force and SAS, which are the most elite fucking units in the world, right? Supposedly, I mean, I'm not gonna say they aren't. I'm just saying like there might be units that are tier 0 that we don't know anything about. In fact, I'm gonna suggest there are. But the tier 1 units in America and the United Kingdom, um, this is their logo. You think Delta Force goes around with a dagger or a spearhead, right? It's a spearhead or an arrowhead, but it's an arrowhead, but there's a knife in it, right? Do they go around with a knife or a sword, or do they go around with an M4? This is almost exactly the gun that Thomas Matthew Crooks used. So I'm going to suggest, you get what I'm saying? Um, Also, I do find it funny. Like, I like that it's very simple, but I find it funny that the graphic design for a lot of the war here, like the military here in America, is just so simple. I guess simple's good though. It's better than being overly complicated and convoluted, but I think you could find a good middle ground. Like, actually, the only reason I don't like this is that it already looks dated as terms of graphic design. But you could do something really nice that's not going to look that dated. But I do think it's like timeless. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. This isn't what this conversation is fucking about. And here's SAS. Um, like so, SAS is literally the opposite. I mean, and by the opposite, I mean it's a knife going downwards instead of upwards, and it has wings instead of an arrowhead. But they're pretty much just like, I don't know. Is this the Magen David? It's like you got the upward facing triangle, which is the Delta Force one, and you got the downward facing triangle, and it's the or the blade and chalice is what I'm trying to say. And this is the chalice, and the blade is the, you get what I mean? Because it's like a downward facing dagger. Whatever. They're both super elite special forces units. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, but they don't use knives and swords for their main weapons. Both of them use some kind of AR-15 variant at this point. So that's what I'm trying to say. Um, breath of life, you get what I'm saying, that still lived, it still had life, right? Or it revived or something. And then the beast makes everybody get a stamp, a mark, some kind of thing carved, etching, a stamp, a badge. Um, Check it. When we go to look at this on Surah.com, right, and we pull up the top seers, this literally says a beast will emerge from the earth that will have the staff of Musa, the ring of Solomon, and Moses, the staff of Moses, and the ring of Solomon. I'm not going to say the Arabicized version because they just stole it from out of the Bible. So let me say the biblical version so you know what the fuck it's talking about. Peace be upon them both. Oh, yeah, okay. Peace be upon Moses and Solomon. It will strike the nose of the disbelievers with a staff, and it will make the face, it will put a mark, right? Right? It will make the face of the believer. So the one, those who believe, it'll mark their face with a bright ring. That's what it says. When people gather to eat, they will be able to recognize the believers and disbelievers. Remember, what this says is that, oopsie, um, and that no man might buy, sell, or sell. In other words, you're not going to be able to buy things or sell things. You can't go to the market to buy or sell, uh, except save the who have the or mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, right? Um, and so, I mean, this is what it's. I just think that that's what it's talking about, right? And it even literally says here, it talks about this animal beast thing, the beast from the earth. I mean, it's literally called the beast from the earth. And there will be no believer that without making a white spot, so a mark on the face, which will spread until his face is shining white as a result. And there will be no disbeliever left without a black spot in his face. More this, white good, black bad thing. I mean, I think it's just racist Arabs, which will spread until his face is black as a result. Remember, in Islam, Satan is a black man, a ruddy black man. That's what their Islamic sources say. Then, when the people trade with one another in the marketplace, they will say, "How much is this, O believer? How much is this, disbeliever?" In other words, it talks about explicitly, after talking about this mark that the beast from the earth in the Quran gives people, it's saying that it specifically brings up trading. So this is why I think that it's just an AI or some Arab AI powered by Islamic oil money. I mean Arab oil money, an Islamic AI powered by Arab oil money that like again, $600 billion is what has been pledged by Saudi Arabia to Trump's administration and whatever, I think, or something like that. And that was the first person that Trump talked to in the thing. $600 billion is a, a quarter of the value of Saudi Aramco. So, like, even for Saudi Arabia, that's a fuck ton of money. And I mean a metric fuck ton, as in a literal, there is a measure of value that we're going to call a fuck ton, and we're going to say that it's $600 billion. That's a fuck ton. So, um, anyway, that's a joke. And then they've said it could go up to $1 trillion. That's how much Trump wants to get from him. Well, $1 trillion would be like half the value of Saudi Aramco. That's not like something even they could do reasonably. They would have to put shit up for collateral, I think. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much money Saudi Arabia has. But I can tell you I know how much Saudi Aramco is worth, right? Revenue 500 billion. So it's like their entire revenue stream plus for 2 years ago. 1.9 trillion. It's more than half the value. That's what Trump is trying to get. More than half the value of Saudi Aramco. That's still a lot for Saudi Arabia, and they have a fuck ton of money. They have multiple fuck tons of money. You know what I mean? So, um, anyway, this is also one of the reasons why I think the monetary system breaks down, and they have to use this like Islamic empowered beast system just what I'm guessing. And it puts it puts this thing Kargama on people, Karagma, I mean, and on the right hand. And so when I or feminine hand, that which usually takes, right? This is what I've been saying. The left hand is the hand that I can exert out with, and it's also the hand of like me giving, and like people are taking from me, and that's why their right eye is really strong, like Alessandro Ambrosio. If we pull this up, right? I mean, this is a quick example that I've pulled up a couple of times recently. How many times recently have I pulled that pic? Oh, here it is. Like, how many times have I pulled this picture up recently, and now it's just gone all of a sudden? Look at her right eye. It looks fine, unimpeded. Her left eye and the left side of her face looks like it's being clamped down because I don't think she's giving to me what she's supposed to be. She's only taking from me what she can, and she's giving to someone else, but not to me. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna suggest that someone else is this guy and Buck Palmer and all the other men, Rich Lee and Nicola Odie and Trent Mazur and just a bunch of rapist fucking men that she would rather give to because she's Jezebel. So I just like, I mean, you can, whether you believe me or not, at this point, I just don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what people say. I have my own brain. I can use it. So the right hand and the right side of the face, right? Or, it says right hand or forehead. So in other words, the thing that I'm saying, in other words, if you cut a face in half, right, right, the right side. That's why I keep saying I think the right has something to do with the mark of the beast. And I think what it is just exactly what I'm saying. They aren't trying to give back to me what they're taking from me or from anybody. I don't know. I don't know about anybody, but from me. And if I'm the guy on the throne of Jesus or Yahweh, you get what I'm saying? I mean, it just makes sense. That's what the right side would represent. And that's also seemingly why my right side is gimped and crippled. That's what I think. And this is what it's talking about. This is part of the whole rot thing. Is like they're willing to internally rot their own left side where they don't give what they're supposed to in order to hurt my right side. And I think the idea was that if they could do it and trick me and cause me enough pain and consternation and suffering and problems, if I took the easy way out and like killed myself or something, which I wouldn't do, this is why I also think I'm the guy on the throne, is that they could win without throwing a punch, essentially. Like, they wouldn't have to reach out and touch me. They've already touched me through this weird fucking rape thing where I have children that I didn't consent to that, like, random men are raising and beating me over the head with and have raised my children against me. You know what I mean? And then, like, here's another instance, except it's closer to home. You know what I mean? Anna Miller. And, like, so, and I just think that it's some evil bullshit that's going on, and it matches exactly what I see in Revelation here. And, anyway. I don't know. There was something else that I was going to talk about, but I'm just like, look, I'm already at almost an hour and a half, and this is like more than I want to, and I want to get back to music stuff because I really want to finish that Alessandro Ambrosio mix. And all the other mixes, hers is just the one that I'm like, as soon as I get done adding more music to my library and finishing her playlist, I'm literally going to start compiling it. You know what I mean? And so as soon as I start compiling it, it's only a matter of a few. Actually, hers is a really long mix. I haven't made a mix this long. It could take me a month from when I start compiling it to like when I actually record it. So maybe even longer than a month. I might put it out in smaller portions. I don't know yet, but like it might be too unmanageable if it's too big, just because like even at a certain point, if a MP3 or if a file is too large, like SoundCloud won't even let you like it won't even accept it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So like being that there's over a day worth of music in the Alessandro Ambrosio mix currently, and I don't, I'm just gonna have to listen to it to see where I'm gonna cut each track off. Some might play the whole thing, some might not, but it could still be over a day, is what I'm trying to say, like concurrently. and I'm gonna have to record it in pieces and put it together in post production. But it or post like when I'm gonna have to edit it together essentially. Um, so I'm gonna record every section live and then put those sections together um, in like a recording. But it might make too big of a file, and so I think I might have to release it in pieces. Is what I'm trying to say. Um, so we'll see what happens. Okay. But I think that's really important because it shows. I think the what I'm doing with the music in it is like some of it is just it looks like random artist who doesn't know this other random artist who's making a song in a different genre. It looks like they work together in tandem to make it for me for my mix. You know what I mean? And these are maybe a song that was made in 2013 and maybe a song that was made in like 2007 and maybe a song that is I haven't even they haven't even finished it and it'll be like something I download right before I put the mix together. That's why it's like kind of a proof that there's some more there's an organized reality or like we aren't just lost in chaos and that there is a reality that is organized and like non-chaotic and ordered and like Yahweh does the ordering of things, right? And so I think he could help me with that. You know what I mean? And so in any instance, I'm just like I'm gonna end this here. I don't know what else I could add. Honestly, I don't know what else to add to this. Well, it's not that I don't know what else. I thought of something a few minutes ago, and it's like, but I've already like I don't know. So did I say the thing where Morgan Knox that I ran into her? That was actually why I wanted to make this, is because I made that whole Anna Miller video, and then I was like, all right, didn't something happen with Morgan Knox that is very similar, like 2,520 days ago? And that was right when someone stole my fucking money, stole my car, and then like basically everything spiraled downwards, and that's when they threw me in the mental health place. That's when they threw me. And like, look, I can understand what I'm saying kind of sounds crazy, maybe, but at the same time, when I'm describing where I've never heard this from any pastor or Christian or Muslim or anything. A Muslim's not going to tell you this because if they're going to tell you this, they're Satanists. Else, they don't know this. Muslims don't understand that. Hey, your book is the opposite of what Revelation in the Bible says. I mean, though they do say Bibles are corrupt, so I mean, it's just they're deluded. You know what I mean? It's exactly what it says in Second Thessalonians. They would be willing to believe a lie. This religion that says you can rape women, beat women, that you can steal, that you can do whatever, you can lie in the name of Islam, you can do whatever as long as it perpetuates Islam and puts it forward. I mean, how does like that? It's obvious that that's a farcical religion at that point. Yahweh didn't need to do that to keep Christianity going. Literally, he can have his people die and still bring it back. It's a, I've heard this quote that I agree with. It's like, you know, uh, like Christianity's dying, and then the guy responds with like, well, Christianity has died and risen many times because it is the tradition of a god. It's like the story of a god who dies and rises. In other words, it's that same concept as the retelling. It's like the inherent thing that it's like the thing from Proverbs where you knock a righteous man down and he gets back up 7 times, but you knock um, which is almost like the seven churches thing, but you knock a bad man down, essentially a non-righteous man, a non-virtuous man down, and it only takes one stumble for someone like Satan or something to fall and be destroyed forever because Satan's a bitch. And that's where I'm gonna end it. I'm ending it there. Satan's a bitch. Yeah. Anyway, have a blessed one. I'll catch you next time. I don't know if I'm gonna put this on my YouTube, but I don't know if I'm immediately gonna make it public, and then I might make it public and then make it private again, and then at some point I plan on everything that I've uploaded to my YouTube is just gonna be public, but right now that's not the case. So not that I don't think people are already looking at it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Have a blessed one. I'll catch you next time. Um, yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything else. So bye. Yeah. Uh, give you 5 more seconds. That'll be 1 hour and 30 minutes. All right. Yeah.